Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another TMDSAS workshop. Today, we'll be talking about avoiding application pitfalls, common mistakes, and fixes. So applying to med school can feel like a full-time job. My goal today is to make sure that you don't fall into the traps that catch a lot of great applicants off guard. We are going to go over some of the most common pitfalls and some of the mistakes that we see year after year. Okay. So if you are new to our organization, we were established in 1968 to streamline admission to Texas health professional schools. We are a centralized application service for medical, dental, podiatry, and veterinary schools in Texas. We are trusted by more than 20 institutions which are part of our network, including public and private schools. And we have over 50 years of service. And we have processed thousands and thousands of applications annually. Let's see, here's something here. So with that in mind, we're going to do something different today. So we're going to have a case scenario. The imagery that we are using is fictitious. The names are fictitious. But we just want to illustrate some of the common pitfalls and mistakes that we see year after year. So take a look at this image, and these students represent applicants who often unintentionally turn their backs on the very resources, instructions, and advice that are meant to help them succeed. So when an applicant rush, skip steps, or overlook details, they aren't just hurting their own applications. They are missing out on the wisdom, tools, and support that we work hard to provide. So in short, they're turning their backs on their own success. And that's why the title of our case scenario is called Don't Turn Your Back. So we have here 4 fictitious friends. We're going to call them Lisa, Alex, Amina, and Marcos. So May 1st, today, they start thinking about the application, the TMDSAS application. And they decided to go for coffee, take a break, have some pastry. And each one of them have something in their minds about the application. So they go, they stop by, and they get the coffee, and they start talking about the application. So Lisa is thinking that that as long as she hits the submit button, everything should be okay. There's no problem with that. Then Alex is saying, well, I know my evaluators really well, and I know they can just type my reference letter for me at the last minute, like in a flash. And then Amina, she says, I'm not a good writer, but I'm not so worried about my essays because you know what? There is AI, and I can use my AI to help me write my essay. And then Marcos tells them, well, I just moved here 6 months ago, and I don't worry about my Texas residency because I got my driver license, my car insurance registration, and I'm good to go. So all of this group of friends, they have assumed different things about the application system, and they rely on their own knowledge. And these assumptions sometimes are typical pitfalls that could affect them. So we're going to see each one of these pitfalls and go through them. So we have, before we do that, I just want to make a parenthesis on the power of time. The other day I had an appointment and I was 10 minutes late. And I drove so fast, I forget it, I couldn't make it. So it doesn't matter how fast you drive, you can only maybe save a couple minutes, but you will never make it on time if you left late. In the same way, if you leave early with plenty of time, you're gonna be able to face even traffic jam. You're gonna be able to even stop by your favorite coffee shop and grab a cup of coffee, and on your way you go. So remember that it's very important, the power of time. Sometimes we ignore how time has to do with when you are getting ready for your application, when you need to plan, and when you need to do all those things. So now let's go and start how to avoid this pitfall. So Lisa has said that that as long as she hits the submit button on her application, she should be okay. So this statement, if you're thinking about submitting your application for the sake of submitting your application, you have to give it carefully thought at all the deadlines that goes into the application. Because if you don't pay carefully attention, you're gonna be more prone to make some mistakes, and you won't be able to avoid some of the pitfalls. So one of the things, how can we avoid this pitfall? Having your own application submission deadline is paramount. So what we mean with this is be informed, know when your letters of reference going to be ready, know when your MCAT scores, what they will be released, or when you need to retake them. Make sure that you have requested your official transcript so you are able to enter the coursework, the course's name, and prefaces as they appear on the transcript. If we apply late, it's going to drastically reduce interview chances. So early is better. So the earlier you submit a complete application, the more interview slots and acceptance are available. And the later is risky if you apply late. So even if you have the greatest application of all time, that might not get the attention because some of the spots, they will be already filled up. So today is our opening day. The application is available May 1st, but you won't be able to submit your application until starting on May 15. And the last day to submit your application will be October 1st. So as we continue with our scenario and our friends, so Alex, he is relying that he knows his evaluators too well, and they can type a reference letter in a flash. Well, that's good to know that Alex has some good evaluators, but there's a lot of details and things that goes into a letter of reference. One of the things is, did you contact your evaluators? Did you give them plenty of time? Did you point them to the right link to access our evaluator portal? We have had to reject letters because it might be missing something like the date, the signature, their contact information. So make sure the person who's going to write a letter not only knows you well, but knows your accomplishment, your character. And you don't want to just pick just a big name for the sake of a big name. You have to choose your evaluator that knows who you are and your accomplishments. And that's so, okay, so how do we avoid this pitfall? So one of the ways to avoid this pitfall is becoming familiar with the letters of evaluation requirements. I have not mentioned it yet, but probably will be mentioning it several times. Our website, tmdsas.com, go to our application guide. We have tons and tons of resources. And the application guide is like the roadmap to follow your application. So you're going to find a section there for letters of evaluation. Please, if you have questions about it, go check it out, read it, and take time. The next pitfall, it came from our fictitious Amina. She doesn't rely on her good writing skill. However, she's thinking that she can use AI just to write her essay. There is something wrong with this picture. So first, let's talk about essays and the importance of an essay in the application. Let me make an analogy. It's like windows to a home. So windows, they bring a natural light, proper ventilation, offer views of the surrounding area, and enhance the aesthetics of a building. So in the same way, essays offer personally and up-close view of who you are. So you shouldn't take lightly when you need to sit down and write your essays prompt. Essays are your opportunity to present yourself, tell your story, and showcase what makes you you. Nobody else can speak better about you than you, because you know your story, you know what you have gone through, you know your journey, you know your accomplishment, you know your dreams. So, and the other thing that she mentioned is about using AI. So first of all, that would be against policy. So this cycle, when you sign in the user agreement, the application, you're signing that you're not using AI to write your essay. You have to do your own work. You can use AI as a proofreader or to identify any grammar or any mistakes. So make sure your essays are your own production, your own product, because they will showcase the best way that's you. So that's, and then we go to the pitfall number 4. Pitfall number 4. Oh, before, yeah. Just remember, so within the essay, make sure you pay extra attention to meaningful activities, personal biography, plan activities, because all of these requires you the skills of writing. Okay, now we go into our last pitfall. So Marcos moved from out of state. Our fictitious Marcos moved from out of state 6 months ago. And he's ready to apply the TMDSAS application. And he says that he knows that he's already a Texas resident because he got his driver license and he got his car insurance. Guessing that you know something sometimes will set you for a trap, but preparing yourself and reviewing the requirements will help you to be very prepared. Our website, again, TMDSAS.com, application guide, residency section offers a comprehensive section on residency requirements, Texas requirement. So understanding that you do not only need to establish Texas residency, but also maintain it in the 12-month period leading up to the application deadline is extremely important. So moving to Texas too late to meet the 12-month domicile rule will not benefit you. You must live in Texas for 12 consecutive months prior to enrollment, not just the application submission. So how do we fight or combat this pitfall? Make sure that you review residency rules early and submit any supporting documents as requested. All of these will help ensure accurate residency determination. So we have covered all the pitfalls, and now we're going to just cover some of the most common mistakes that we see, and we're going to provide some fixes to those common mistakes. And again, the next imagery we're using, there's a lot of sun. The sun is coming in through different ways. And what does the sun has to do with mistakes and fixes? Well, if you go into a dark room and you need to find something, or if you need to, I don't know, fix something, you need to have light or a flashlight. So in the same way, that's what we wanted to allude that even though we're identifying common mistakes, there is some fixes. So one of the mistakes that we see often year after year is applicants, they dismiss or skim through our resources. Again, we may sound like a broken record. We do offer a ton of resources. We do have a YouTube channel. You can go back and watch different medical school panelists from podiatry, dental, veterinarian. We have also our newsletter from the inside room. We have tons of articles, and we have the Instagram account, and mostly we have the application guide. So how can you fix this mistake? Just take your time, check our application guide. If you have any questions specifically, go in and check that out. You can watch our YouTube channel, and you will gonna find the answers to many of your questions. But if you still have questions, you can send us those questions to info@tmdsas.org. Okay, another common mistake is, another mistake that we see is, let's see, when it comes to coursework. So another mistake that we see, either you enter the wrong credit hours, you enter in through all of your coursework to the last time taken, you enter in, or you enter the same grade to all of your coursework. So how can we fix this? Make sure you have a copy of your official transcript next to you when you go from all the school that you have attended, when you're gonna enter the coursework. Make sure that you review the coursework before submission. And usually enter in to last time taken. Usually this will be, you won't do this to all of your coursework. Mostly you will do when you repeat a course, On the first course that you took, you will put N, and then on the second time you took the course, you will put Y. So and this type of mistake can hold your application because we have to send the application back to you so you can correct it and then you send it back to us. So make sure, please, to have your official transcript. Take your time, and if you need a conversion from your school, make sure that you have entered the right credit hours. Another common mistake that we see is grammars or spelling or acronym use. And so often we see blank spaces. Maybe the applicant was thinking to come back and fix it, but that didn't happen. So make sure that you proofread your essays, use only tools, have friends that they can read it, and so they can see if those essays are painting a picture of who you are. And also get multiple people from different fields, not only medicine, but from different fields to proofread your essays also. Another common mistake that we see is maybe the MCAT score are not released and the applicant keeps saying they already released them. So sometimes this is just a simple mismatch between the MC ID or a date of birth, or the name was entered incorrectly. So make sure that you double check. Make sure you take time. Each one of these common mistakes and each one of these pitfalls, it also take us back to the power of time. If you rush through your application, you won't have time to double check things. But if you take your time, you're gonna be able to catch mistakes and able to fix them. And also, if you are able, according to your planning, make sure you take your MCAT early enough for scores to be released before application review. Another mistakes that we see is submitting before being ready. You might ask, how did that happen? Sometimes you're so excited, you think you did everything correctly, and you're so excited to hit the submit button. You make the payment. Once you make the payment, your application has been submitted. So how can we fix this common mistake, simple mistake? Just give yourself time after finishing your application. Come back the next day with fresh eyes and a clear mind. Review thoroughly. Just review thoroughly. Another mistake, this one is a major one. So we have a section on our application guide. It's called Approve Changes After Submitting. This is like if you go on a hiking trip and one of your best friends gives you a map and tells you, if you take this trail, it's gonna take you to the most beautiful views ever. But then you ignore the map that your friend gave you or the instructions, with the phone, and then you forget about it. You said, no, let me try this road. I think I know where I'm going. And then you get lost. Or maybe you get to another different point, but you miss those beautiful views. So in the same way, the approved changes after submitting of the application will tell you which sections of the applications you can go back and fix after submission. But then also there's some sections that you will not be able to fix it, no matter what you say. So make sure that you have read and know what sections you cannot change after submission before submitting. Double review everything. Pay extra attention to essays, meaningful activities, personal biography, plan activity sections before submitting, because you cannot change those ones. And okay, so before I go to the next slide, so we have been painting sort of like a gloomy picture with our four friends. They were just with their backs turned. But they're good news. What are the good news? Well, the good news is this story has a good ending. Because when we slow down, when we listen, when we prepare carefully, and when we take full advantage of the guidance offered, they turn around. And so guess what happened with Lisa, Alex, Marco, and Amina? So they became engaged, confident, and ready to move forward. Because all those ideas they had and those they were able to get the right resources and the steps they needed. So now they're facing opportunities. They're not going to be missing them. And I think that's number one thing that we wanted to help you to face those opportunities. We don't want you to miss opportunities because you were rushing to fill your application, or because you didn't read, or because you didn't even visit our website and the application guide, or because you, and we understand we all have like busy lives, but this is extremely important. Take your time. And our goal is to help every applicant make the turn from your back's turn to turn around and step confidently toward their future. So thank you so much. And we're going to see if we have any questions for the few minutes that we have left. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's try to answer some of these questions. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we have Mara. She's asking a question. If we are graduating May 2025, how do we answer the next short answer question? In what activities or experiences are you currently involved? If it's required, I don't want to repeat my activities. So this question is required for all applicants. Yes, it is required for all applicants. So the next question, let's see. If I'm not able to answer all of your questions, make sure to send us your question at info@tmdsas.org. Okay. So let's see if in the applicant history. Okay. So Devin is asking, in the applicant history, part of the application, I'm currently enrolled student, but I'm still getting the in what activities or experiences are you currently involved questions. Okay. So you're gonna end, Devin, I will need more information on that question. So you will answer all what is being asked. And yeah, I will need like more information. Okay. So let's see another question here. Okay, so Devin, because that question is now required for all applicants this cycle. So you will be getting that question. Okay. I see a lot of the questions regarding the activities and experiences, and I will highly encourage you to send us an email today. If you're working on your application, please send us an email so we can provide with the best answer. Okay, the time is up. So again, thank you for tuning in. Again, please visit our website, tmdsas.com. Please say application guide. And you're going to find a lot of the answers to your questions to every section. So make sure, and then for all our listeners that they have some questions related to activities and the new question, please make sure to send us that question again. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck to you. And we hope to see you starting on May 15th.